guys, happy Saturday. I'll adjust this a little bit. Oh, you can see the little Wally Wallito back there. Let me just move my tea. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a lovely Saturday. As many of you know, we've had quite the week with our little Wally, but Wally is on the road to recovery now, and he's eating a lot more, which is good. And he was actually in a surplus of calories yesterday, which was also good. Hey, Porsu. So yeah, just kind of a stressful week since last Saturday, because it all kind of went downhill last Saturday. But yeah, so anyway, I think today is day 2 of me actually wearing regular clothes, you know, and not just like my gym clothes and like throwing my hair in like a do-rag or something. Hey, Susie. Hey, Jeff. So yeah, he's just, you know, trying to get comfortable and, you know, have a little nappy right now. Loki's also taking a nap. I'll show you guys. Give me just a second. So that is Nurse Loki. Loki has actually been a really good little nurse for Wally. You know, if Wally's here, he's there. Hey, Sherry Bug. He'd like been watching him and like, you know, will not be right next to him because Wally doesn't like him right next to him, but he'll be like 3-4 feet away, just like watching him, making sure like everything's fine. And he was really worried when Wally wasn't here, you know, for the weekend, because Wally was in the ER. So Loki was actually pretty sad. He was looking all over the house for him. He was doing things that he knows would upset Wally and like make Wally come out and like smack him. So he's like, Wally, I'm in your litter box, better come out and pound me. And then he's like, Wally, I'm under your bed, better come out and pound me. It's like, where's Wally? You know, so, hey, Chantal. And let's see, who else do we have here? Lots of awesome people. So yeah, you know, I'm doing better. Huh, Loki? Aw. Yeah, Nurse Loki. Hey, Jonathan. And Latte is here. So hello, Latte friend. So yeah, Marina, hey, and Jezebel. Oh my gosh, so many awesome people. Yes, Jeff, these my two awesome kitties, and my Nurse Loki over here. But so yeah, I guess I'll give you guys the like what happened, and lots of like really good things happened too. And it's so interesting, you know, because Loki has always, like, Loki and Wally are not besties, you know, but they don't fight really either. It's just more like Wally's always been annoyed that there's this cat in his house, and Wally's like, I don't like cats, like, you know, but they kind of have fun with each other, you know. And Loki doesn't know how big he is, that he's like whatever 2.5 times Wally's size. So when he wants to play, he scares the crap out of Wally. So anyway, so yeah, while Wally was gone, Loki like started just laying in the middle of the living room over there, kind of by the garage door, just like waiting for him to come home. And he'd be very concerned every time we take him out in the carrier to go, you know, to his vet appointments and stuff like that. So Jezebel's like, all the awesome peeps. And Silver Star is here. Hey, how are you guys? Latte friend says, don't mean to interrupt, but can rose be used to replace any summoning flower? I use rose for everything. You know, if there isn't a particular like herb or thing that I have, I personally use rose for everything, but that's because I have like a special affinity for roses. They grow out in my garden. Actually, I'm going to be talking to you guys about those and kind of how they all tie in with Wally. So you guys buckle in for story time. I have like a lot of, I think, pretty cool things to share with you guys. So anyway, Chantal's like, wait, Wally was gone? Yes. So I am going to fill you guys all in. Yes, Jezebel, Wally believes he's human. I mean, because obviously I gave birth to him, right? I gave birth to a little puma. But yeah, he believes he's a little person. And so he doesn't like cats. He's okay with dogs, but he's like, I don't like cats. um, let's see. Share books. My German Shepherd tries to play with my mom's peekapoo. The peekapoo runs and hides under the couch. Aww. Okay, so let me have a sip of tea. This is obviously as we do as cat mamas. Yes. I'm like, Wally, remember the day that you were born? I was like in contractions and I went, and then I'll pop like a little puma and you were like this big. And then I was like, they wrapped you in like a little blankie into like a little little papoose. And I was like, and you were like a little burrito. And then they made a little stocking cap and they put it on your head and they cut out 2 holes for your gigantic ears. I was like, and then they wanted to put you in the window with all the other babies, but they were like, wow, all these other babies are really ugly. So they moved all these other babies out and they just left you in the front. And I was like, remember when all the people lined up and they were like, aw. That's how I recount the day that Wally was born. Wally says he remembers. So yes, Wally knows very well the day that he was born. I was like, and it's just so wrong. I was like, that my work does not let me have maternity leave for you. Like, okay, so what happened? You guys are probably wondering, as these are like the 2 healthiest puma and panther, on the planet. And they don't go outside, and all of that. So, okay, here's the story. More tea. Okay, so every year, Jezebel says, I remember the day it was written in the sky all over the world, Wally is born. Yes. So every year we get the reminder in June for Wally's yearly checkup, right? And I'm always really good about getting his checkup, but we got this whole thing going on right now, right? And I was kind of hoping, like, maybe if I put off his checkup, because the checkup is just to make sure that, he's of a healthy weight and there's nothing, going on and stuff like that. So I was like, well, let's put it off, until until the beginning of July. And I said, because I don't know if this thing will like blow over, because I don't like the idea of going to the vet and then me just sitting idling in the car with my my little baby until they decide to come out and take him, and then they take him away where I can't be with him. And I mean, it's only a checkup, but I know that makes him nervous because he, number one, doesn't like car rides. He doesn't like the vet. Even though the vet that we go to, they're really, really nice people. Sometimes you go to a vet and you look at the building and you're like, this is a really expensive building, which leads me to believe that what they're charging is helping to build this fabulous facility that you have here. Well, the vet we take him to, I mean, it's not a rundown place, but it's just kind of like in a strip mall. The people that work there, they're all local. They're kind of in the, I guess you want to call it Santee area, which is only about, it's a 13-minute drive from my house. So it's like a really quick, in and out for Wally. They know him by name, and they remember him every year. They're always like, oh, how's Wally's doing? And it's always hard to like get him back from the vet because I'll be like, oh, I'm here for Wally. They're like, oh, Wally. And then they'll disappear and I'll be waiting and waiting. And then somebody else comes out, hi, have you been helped? I'm like, yeah, I'm here to pick up my cat. And they're like, which one's your cat? Wally. Oh, Wally, he's such a sweetheart. We'll go get him. And then they'll disappear and then they won't come back. And I'm like, and I think that they're playing with him in the back because they just like love him so much. But it's good to know that, they're really, really kind people and that they really love animals. And it's not about like raking people over the coals, in terms of like, pricing. I mean, they don't have the cheapest rates in town, but I would rather pay whatever I have to pay for people who genuinely love animals and are doing what they're doing because they know what it's like to be in your position. So let's see. Let's go back here. Susie said, did he get kennel cough? No, he did not. Sherrybug, my vet is a former strip mall. They are amazing. Or is it a former strip mall? Yes, they are. Chantal, you can stay with him during checkup. That's so weird. Yeah, so during this whole thing that's going on now, they don't let you be with your pet at all. So maybe it's just here in California, but yeah, if they take your pet, because they said that it's not safe to have that many people in the office, so just the workers, the vet techs and all that stuff can be in there with the animals, but like the owners have to stay outside or in their cars. Same thing with like the ER and stuff like that. You are absolutely not allowed to visit your animal, which I will get to. Let's see, Jezebel, don't the vet come to the home? They do here for a small fee unless the animal needs x-rays or surgery, usually, but because of this thing that's going on, a lot of vets are opting not to do that because they don't want to put themselves in jeopardy just in case the owners have whatever, so they don't want to put themselves at risk. So a lot of vets are opting not to come to the home. Otherwise, like, I don't care how much it costs. I would pay to have a vet here. Let's see. Sherrybug says here, they usually come to the home for large animals and farm animals. Silver Star says, I had to bring my cat in about a month or two before COVID. Had to bring her in and drop her off. They make you wait outside. Interesting. Or after COVID. Oh, hey, baby. And okay, so took him in for his checkup. I scheduled the checkup for, when was this? July 2nd. July 2nd, he had his checkup. And it felt kind of weird that I was just like, because they were like, oh, do you want to wait? Or do you want to go off and go do something? We'll call you. And I'm like, I'll just wait in the parking lot. Jezebel said that makes sense. They don't want to catch the plague. Yes. So I'm just waiting outside, and it was a fine checkup. They said he's healthy. He had kind of put on some weight like a couple of years ago, so we'd been working to get his weight down. He may have become, as they put it, tank-like, which I was quite offended. I was like, don't call my Puma tank-like. That's insulting. I was like, don't hurt his feelings, okay? Because he's got more to love, and because his mommy and daddy love to indulge him. And they were like, listen, kitten diabetes is a real thing. And I was like, okay, whatever. So we had put him on some special food, and he's been doing really well. And now he was down to a healthy weight, 12.6 pounds, which is perfect for the size that Wally is. Yeah, no fat shaming. I'm like, why are you shaming my cat? Like, hello. So his checkup, they said, he's 12.6 pounds, perfect. He was totally happy. And I said, could you also check his teeth? Because I know that he has he was just kind of born with a bad set of chompers. He has a propensity towards getting gingivitis rather easily, so it becomes like red and inflamed around his teeth. And if you let it go long enough, it turns into like periodontal disease and stuff like that, and like totally just like messes them up and could get into the bloodstream and eventually be dire consequences for your animal. I don't like it to get that way, so I'm like, hey, let me know how his teeth are. If he needs a teeth cleaning, we'll take him in. I don't particularly like teeth cleanings because that means putting him under anesthesia, which makes me very nervous because I know that animals and anesthesia, it's just a little bit different than it is with humans, and sometimes it could have fatal consequences, which is why I always have them do a full blood work before they do that. Like, make sure that the kidneys are working well, the liver's working well. I want to make sure that he is tip top so that there is no reason, anything bad could ever happen with anesthesia. And it's like a $90 charge or whatever to do the blood work. And apparently I'm one of few people that actually does the $90 checkup, because most people are like, my dog or my cat will be fine under anesthesia. Like, let's just like risk it. And I'm like, really, people? Like, you're supposed to be, this is like your child. Like, you're just going to risk it with your child. So me, I'll pay the $90. Like, that's fine. Jezebel said Siamese kittens can get a little heavy on the yes, they could, on the bottom. Chantal said that's awful. Over here, it's somewhere under control. So the rules aren't so strict anymore. Yeah, I don't understand though. Like, you can be in the little waiting room. There's like room to spread out. I don't understand the thing with like the vet stuff. Hey, Ayana, how are you? Oh, we have to have another pajama party at some point, and hopefully you can join in on that one. Yes, Susie, he is my heart, and that's like, I can't have anything bad happen to him. I feel like I would just like fall over and die, basically. Ayana said better this weekend. I'm doing okay. I'm just kind of going over like everything that happened in the past week, because it's been crazy, and my anxiety has been whoo, and I've been running on adrenaline, for like a week. So yeah, okay. So July 2nd has his checkup. Everything's fine. He did have a little cut on his side, which we thought he probably got from when he does his like crazy laps, and he probably like snagged it on something. And so I wanted them to take a look at his cut, and they said, well, it's a good thing you've kept it clean, it's not infected or anything, but we'll give him an antibiotic shot. And I was like, cool, fine. And they were like, here's some ointment, just make sure he doesn't lick it or anything like that. So I was like, cool. It was like an antibiotic ointment or whatever. And that was like it for his checkup. And they said he did have some gingivitis flare up, so he was going to need a teeth cleaning. So I was like, oh, okay. And I said, when is your next available? And they said, well, every Wednesday. Those are our anytime we do dental work for animals, like teeth cleanings and stuff like that, is always going to be on a Wednesday. They said we open at 9, so it would be a 9 a.m. drop off. They said just make sure that by 9 p.m. the previous night, he doesn't have anything to eat. But he can drink as much as he wants. He can drink in the morning, but just don't feed him after 9 p.m. the previous night. We need his system to be totally clean. Bring him in, drop him off at 9. And I said, I'm requesting a blood work test first before you put him under any anesthesia. They said, we totally understand. Cool. We'll do that. And they said, and expect an afternoon pickup, because they like to have them, the animals wait in the office for at least a couple of hours to kind of check them, make sure that they are kind of awake from their anesthesia and that they're doing good, before they send them home with their owners, because they, any of that. So, let's see. Yeah, so Ayana, he's doing so much better now though. So Jezebel said, and if something happens just because of $90 checkup being saved, that would be awful. Yes. T-Cat, hey. So how is everyone? Wally looks like he's totally chilling in the background. He is. Hey Maya, how are you? So his dental cleaning then was on July 8th. So that was a Wednesday. And so he came back and he was totally fine. They said it was uneventful. He was great for them. He went under the anesthesia. He came out. He was totally cool. And then they said, we'll give a call in the morning, make sure that, everything's fine, that he's regular in the litter box, and that he's going poo, he's peeing and all of that stuff. And that he's not like disoriented or anything, So I said, cool, yeah, give us a call in the morning. So, he was fine as soon as he came home. Usually they say they'll be a little groggy. Wally's always been like, this doesn't affect me, so he was still his crazy self, running around. More tea. Excuse me. Okay. Says, Puma Snuggles. Just saw him back there. And I'm on a tiny phone screen. So, yeah, sorry, I have him. Okay. So, he was fine. This is, I swear, Siamese cats are a little bit alien. Mine's always kind of crazy, too. She looked like a dog and would hotel like a dog, too. Yeah, a lot of people think he's more dog-like. He plays fetch, or look like a dog too. Yeah. Um, so the next day they call in the morning. He's totally fine. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I mean, he went poop, he went pee, he's, playing around with his gigantic panther brother. Like, he's totally fine. And they're like, okay, cool. So the evening, Thursday evening, the day after his stuff that he did, he had some diarrhea. Um, Silver Star, when I try to do I don't like to text too much on the, type. I'm always dictating. And it's so weird what Surrey likes to come up with. So yeah, he had some diarrhea Thursday evening, and we're like, that's interesting. It was right before bed though. So Friday, I called up his vet Friday morning, and I was like, hey, yeah, Wally had some diarrhea on Thursday evening. This was the day after his dental procedure and his anesthesia. And I was wondering, like, is that normal or, anything? And they said, well, has he had more diarrhea? And I said, well, actually, yeah. I said, it's kind of gross. It's like he's making noises in the litter box, like squirty noises, if you want to get gross. I was like, and I said, so it's kind of bad. I was like, I just want to make sure it's okay. And they said, I mean, they're like, diarrhea doesn't sound like something that would be coming. I mean, it's too far away from the anesthesia. Wally is 6 years old, so he's just a baby. And they said, because they said, usually if anything's going to happen, it'll be the morning after the treatment. Or after the anesthesia. And I said, well, this was the evening. I said, so it's whatever, hours later, 8 hours later. I said, so I think it could be part of the anesthesia. I was like, also, I said 6 days before that, he had an antibiotic shot. And I was like, so do you think we should be giving him probiotics? I said, because I know that antibiotics totally wipes out your natural digestive flora, and I said, do you think that may have just like collided with the anesthesia that he had, and like his system is not agreeing with what's going on? Hey, Karina. Ooh, you're gonna do some glamour magic. Hey, I love me some glamour magic. I did some today so that I could look presentable to the interwebs. And they said well, no, the antibiotic being 6 days after or before the anesthesia, they're like, probably wouldn't have any interaction. I'm like, really? Okay. And so they said, but if you want, they said, since it's Friday, you can come down and we'll give you some stool firmer medication. You can give him, it should firm up his stool because, we're not open on the weekends. And so that way, if there's anything, it gets worse on the weekend, they said, you at least have this medication. Do you want the medication? It was like, sure. It was like $16 or whatever. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I drove down there, I picked up and, and I said, he's also vomiting a little. I said, he's having such a rough time in the litter box when he has diarrhea. He's also throwing up. And they said, the vomiting could be, he probably ate something, that he didn't like. And I was like, well, we don't feed them anything drastically different other than their kibble and like some like rotisserie chicken, and I said, and they said, oh, he probably ate something off the carpet or he ate something outside. I'm like, he's not an outside cat. He's an indoor cat. I was like, and Wally, he's not a cat that like just eats random crap off the ground. I said, he eats what you feed him. I said, because, and for him, he doesn't even eat off the floor because for him, that's like savage or something. So like we feed him literally on fine china and he expects fine china, because he's very spoiled. I said, so he doesn't eat food off the floor. Like And they said, well, he's a cat. He probably did. And that's what is causing the vomiting. And I said, well, I think it's kind of suspicious that when he has diarrhea, 3 Mississippis later, like 1, 2, 3, he's vomiting. I said, I think that it's causing him stress to poop that way. And so he vomits. And they're like, it's probably not related, but here's some anti-diarrhea medication. So I take it. Okay. We try to give him some. He's not a very good pill taker. But he was still his normal playful self. He just was vomiting and had some diarrhea, but he was still eating really well. He was still playing with Loki, all of that. Jen's like, yikes, I showed up just in time to hear about kitty woes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of catching everybody up because it's been a rough week. It started Saturday. Jezebel said, oh no, doesn't sound good with both vomiting and diarrhea. So in my brain, I'm thinking it's gotta be the anesthesia because he's such a healthy cat. Like it had to have been the anesthesia. I said, otherwise it's too much of a coincidence that this happens one day after his like dental appointment. Oh, which kitty? That is the one that is sleeping right here. My Siamese. My Bombay is the big black kitty. That's Loki. And so, and then I'm thinking also, because he's never really had a problem with his anesthesia before, I'm thinking that maybe because of the antibiotic shot, even though maybe he didn't have a reaction to it, something about, his digestive flora being wiped out, like, I don't know. That's all I can guess because right now nobody's copping up to anything. So then Saturday rolls around, that was the day I had my pajama jam right here on YouTube. I finished my live chat, and I go to be with Wally, and he's having a really rough time in like the litter box. He's no longer just having like soft diarrhea, but it's become liquid, and he now was vomiting in his litter box, which is like not normal for him. Oh, hey, Cheeky, what's up? This is so happy that Wally and Walito is getting better. Yes, ear rubs and head bumps to him and Loki. Oh, Nurse Loki. Loki has been so good. Silver Star says it probably was where getting the anesthesia from Mexico, or anesthesia from Mexico, and it was making people really sick here. It happened to me. Oh, really? Chantal says, always trust your instinct. I do. Like, me and my dude are like, we're pretty sure we know exactly what happened, even if nobody else is like admitting anything. Jezebel said, some of us just don't tolerate antibiotics very well and they get very sick. Exactly. Everybody's different, just because like the directions are like, this is like what could happen. It doesn't always happen that way or within the time frame they say for everybody. I was very scared Saturday after the live chat because Wally is a very clean cat as well, and he would be really embarrassed if he were to vomit in his litter. So it was like he pooped and then he vomited like a second later. Hey Lori, T-Cat says Wally is such a well-behaved cat. My cat basically hoovers everything that she finds from the floor. Yeah, Wally has table manners. Loki does not. I call my dude and I said, hey, this is what's going on. Wally's throwing up and he has liquid diarrhea, like it's just straight liquid. That concerns me, and this is now Saturday, right? So his poop has been getting worse. The vomiting has been getting worse since Thursday. And now our vet isn't open because it's the weekend, right? I tried for an hour, like trying to offer him some food. And for the first time, this little guy who loves to eat wouldn't eat. Like I was trying all of his favorite stuff. He didn't want anything. And then that was disconcerting, I was like, uh-oh. So that's why I was like, hey, Wally's not eating. He's got liquid diarrhea. He's vomiting. I said, and now it's like yellow vomit. I said, where there's nothing else in his stomach. So I think it's just stomach acids at this point. Silver Star says, not saying that was the case with him. Glad to hear he's doing better. Yes. So he's like, well, you better call the pet ER. So we call the the VCA that's connected with our vet, they literally said, we're all full. We can't take any more patients today. And I'm like, okay. So they give me a number to another vet that's in La Mesa, like emergency, 24-hour thing. Let's see. It says, yo, just did the bedroom energy cleanse. I did some oracle card pulls and a shell reading. Yay! Yes, kittens can go from bad to real bad very fast. And cats are a lot different than dogs and humans, because humans can go without food for a really long time as long as we stay hydrated. Same thing for dogs. I mean, dogs probably shouldn't go without food for, a while, but for cats are a little bit different in that their liver, if it doesn't get a certain amount of, constant like food flow coming through so that it can process things, there's an enzyme in the liver that needs that. And if they don't get that, the liver is the first to shut down. And then of course, all the other organs. And so that time frame is kind of dependent on your cat, but the maximum time frame is a week, that if cats don't eat for a week, they're pretty much going to die. And some other, hey, sea cat. And for other cats, it could be 4 to 5 days. So, eating protein, getting protein in a cat is like huge. Like they need to be constantly eating, I guess, kind of like sharks, they need to constantly have food going into their system. They can't, not eat for days. Like sometimes like dogs can when they're really sick. Anna says, we have bunnies. It's the same for them. They have to constantly be eating. Otherwise they go downhill super quickly within days. Yes. Which is why I was like, let's get them into the ER. Okay. So I go down to La Mesa and they said, I have to fill out this online form. And then they said, wait in your car with your AC on and we'll come out, and like do a quick checkup, make sure that there's nothing dire. And if it's not dire, it's going to be about a 3 to 4 hour wait in your car with the car running and the AC on. I'm like, 3 to 4 hours waiting in my car for my cat. And so I'm like, well, at least somebody will come out and check him first, because I think that he is more of a dire situation because he's not eating, he's not drinking, he's vomiting, he's pooping, diarrhea. So I'm waiting. Half an hour goes by, nobody comes out. And so my boyfriend was finishing up work and he's like, I'll meet you there. And he says, has anybody come out yet? No. He's like, well, have you called around to other vets? And I'm like, no. And so he starts calling around to other ERs to see if anybody can get him in faster. We finally find one up in Sorrento Valley, which is pretty far from us. And it's supposed to be one of the best ER hospitals, in freaking San Diego County. It's run by UC Davis. It's got a ton of money in it. It's like supposed to be top notch. All the vets are like, oh, that is like the place if you want top quality care. Okay. So I'm like, Wally, we're leaving this place. That place never even came out. Like they never even called to say they were coming out. Like they just completely forgot about us. So I'm glad we didn't stay there. Otherwise we'd still be there. So we go up to Sorrento Valley. And they take him in to check him up, and they said, we're going to have to admit him. They said he's pretty bad. And they said, did he eat something? No. We're telling him what happened, the anesthesia, the antibiotic, and they're like, but it's already Saturday, so it's probably not the anesthesia. I'm like, this happened Thursday night. It happened the day after his dental appointment. We're telling you he's a healthy cat. And they're like, yeah, it could be liver disease, it could be cancer. I'm like, oh, before you jump to code red, how about looking at the things that have just occurred, and it could be a possibility. Common sense might tell you that it's a reaction. He's having yes, Susie, an allergic reaction to what just happened with him. So I said, why do you look at the anesthesia, discount it, and go, it could be cat cancer? Really? And so they're like, okay, so they're running all these tests, and they did some x-rays, and all they could find was gas in his intestinal tract. Okay, so his stomach is upset, obviously. Thank you. They had him on an IV to get some fluids in him and everything. Ayana says, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Exactly. So So they do this stuff, and then they said, okay, we gave him some anti-nausea, and because they were trying to treat his nausea, but we're like, he also has diarrhea. And they said, well, if he stops vomiting, he'll stop having diarrhea, which I'm like, shouldn't you be giving him anti-diarrhea? It says, no, need to go to another bird. Yes, perhaps a very skilled seagull. uh, so they're like, okay, we have him on some anti-nausea. So we come back to pick him up, and because they said you can go home. We're going to keep him here for a little bit, and then we'll come back. It says it shouldn't be this hard. Yes, I know, right? I'm like, I'm not a doctor, but I think I have a little bit more common sense than some people. Chantal's like, my jaw is dropping lower and lower. I know. And then especially when, like, those of you that are fur baby parents or you're human baby parents, like you know that if there's anything wrong with your child, you are in a not only like super agitated and in a heightened state of anxiety, but you're like, fuse is like so much shorter dealing with incompetence or like people who aren't like getting what's going on in your head. So hey, Pixie Cat. So they said, okay, you can take him home. And they said, for sure, he's not going to vomit because we gave him anti-nausea. He should be fine now. And we're like, okay, we can take him home now. Like, okay. Jen's like, my dog had major surgery this week. Oh, so it can be very much related. But thank goodness for the vet I dealt with was awesome. Yes. Jezebel's like, you almost pushed the doctor away. Yes. Says they listed all the illnesses that a cat can have before even thinking about the most obvious reasons, such Sherlock's. Yes. Hey, Candy. Seriously, wow, right? Yeah. So it's like, let's start with like the worst case scenario, and then we'll work our way down to maybe it was the anesthesia the day before and could be possibly combined with the antibiotic or whatever. So anyway, it's like a weird working backwards type thing they have to do. It says it's amazing what incompetence in medical issues. Yes, so, and because we couldn't talk to his regular vet, it was frustrating because here we're dealing with these people that we don't know. Like, we just have to kind of take their medical expertise. We can't see him, so we don't know what's going on in there, and our brains are like, oh, because we're in panic mode, right? And so they said we could take him home. Great. We took him home. They said they promised he's not going to vomit. If he does, you have to immediately take him back. We were home for 25 minutes. He had his diarrhea in the litter, and 1 second later, vomit came out. We called him up and said, he just vomited. And they said, really? Because we just gave him anti-nausea. This is, Marina said, unfortunately, it happens with the vet doctors. I'm happy he does better now. I experienced something like that with my cat a few years ago. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking. So had to put him back in the carrier, which I know he was like super stressed out. Number one, being in an environment that with people he doesn't know, it being a long drive. He hates car rides. He feels like crap, obviously. And he's probably getting a lot of our psychotic energy coming off of us, and we're like trying to stay cool, but it's like really hard. So we take him back and we're like, and they take him back in, and everything. And so they said, we're going to have to run an ultrasound. They said to see if the ultrasound can get more than the x-ray can. They said, we're pretty sure it's cat cancer or liver disease or something like that. I'm like, listen, he's a 6-year-old cat. He was super healthy until anesthesia from a dental appointment. Why are we going to cat cancer again? Like, and they said, we have to rule out everything. I'm like, okay. Pretty sure your ultrasound's not going to find anything except more gas. But guess what they found? More gas. Just what they found during the x-ray. But they said they wanted to keep him overnight because even though they were giving him the anti-diarrhea finally, because we had to yell at them and tell them, listen, they said, you can give him all the anti-nausea you want, but he's throwing up because of the diarrhea. So why don't you give him some anti-diarrhea? And they said, well, because he already has a medication for that. And I said, when was the last time we had it? The last time he had it was on Friday. It is now Sunday because you guys have had him. So it's probably not in his system anymore. Why don't you guys give him some anti-diarrhea? And they said, oh, okay. And they said, and he's not eating anything. We're like, well, is there anything you can give him to stimulate his appetite? Yeah, but we want to see if he eats first. And I said, okay, well, let's see. He threw up everything from Saturday. So he's pretty much, he had a little bit to eat on Saturday. He had nothing on Sunday. I'm like, he's probably really hungry. He's been throwing up a lot anyway. He's probably dehydrated. And they had him up on the IV and they said that they gave him like subdermal fluids, or subcutaneous, there you go, yeah, fluids. They had the IV drip, which also had the anti-nausea in it. They gave the anti-diarrhea because we demanded it. And then we demanded an Apatite stimulant because they didn't think to do that when they first got him because he wasn't eating. So, because they were like, well, we want to work backwards from cancer. I'm like, it's not cancer. And so ultrasound found nothing. They put him on a catheter. I'm like, because they don't want him to move, right? Because he's got the IV thing going on. And I'm just like, and we can't be with him. We can't see him. So he got to come home Monday evening. So this whole time, Loki was so depressed. He was like looking for Wally everywhere. He was laying in the living room waiting for him to come home. Usually Loki doesn't lay there. So it was like, yes, hell hath no fury like a mom or a daddy. Chantal is shaking her head so hard. So, so Monday they said, okay, 6 o'clock pickup. Okay, thank God. And they said, because they felt that although he should stay longer because he's still not improving, they kind of get the feeling that it's stressing him out more being away from his parents. I'm like, you think? So they said, we're going to send you home with 2 Apatite stimulants. We're going to send you home with an antibiotic because he also has a low-grade fever. And so there might be an infection in there somewhere. They said, we're also going to give you probiotics, which we told them to do because, like, hello, if your tummy flora has been wiped out from the antibiotic before and you want to give him more antibiotic, that's not going to help you recover. Like, you need probiotic, in your tummy. So they gave him some probiotic. And then they said, we're going to give him another anti-diarrhea and we're going to give him an anti-nausea. So that's 6 medications, which are sitting in our refrigerator right now. And they said, you need to keep a close eye on him. Try to give him anything, his favorite treats and stuff to eat, and all of that. I said, okay. 6 o'clock comes, and I like how anytime before, like he was going to stay another night, they always like call to say, this is going to be your new bill. Thank you. gotta pay the devil first. Jezebel said, I lost my old baby, black cat, 17 years old, a month ago. All this, even though I can see Wally being okay in the background, is hard to hear. I'm so sorry, Jezebel. There's a happy, I'm getting to the happy stuff. So trust me, we were having flashbacks from our old cat Presley dying, and we remember, him losing weight and all this stuff. So we've been having some PTSD in this house, because all of a sudden, like all the memories from 6 years ago from losing Presley, and how hard that was. Like, I was like, we are not losing this cat. I said, I don't care if you have to drain my bank account, sell my car, like move to an apartment and sell this house. Like, I don't care. Like, you sell everything I own. I don't care. I was like, my cat is going to live. I cannot like go through what happened 6 years ago. It was really, really hard. So I was like, I don't care. we're gonna do everything. Hey, Ruchi. Says they made it sound like the dentist operation caused sudden cancer. Yeah, I know. It's like so yeah, we get him home finally on Monday, which, by the way, it was hard to get him out of the ER on Monday because it was 6 o'clock. We get there, we're like, hey, we're here to pick up Wally. And they said, oh, well, we just have to put together your invoice. And oh, by the way, Wally has insurance. So yes, he did rack up a $3,000 bill, $3,000+ bill for his ER stay over the weekend. The cat insurance, I don't know if you guys know about animal insurance. They have animal insurance for cats, dogs, you know, and stuff like that. We pay $38 a month, and it's a $250 deductible, and then they pick up 90% of the tab after that. So after this like 3,000 and whatever amount of money we would have owed for all of his treatment, we're only having to pay like 500 and something dollars, you know, and my boyfriend and I, we split everything, you know, for anything for Wally, well, anything really in general. So we're going to split that 500 and something in half. So, and the insurance that we have is called Healthy Paws. They worked with us. They're fantastic. So, we were like, let's see how this insurance, cause we've never used his insurance before. We've never had to. So it turns out it's a great insurance, cause we're like, if this insurance is crap, like we're not paying anymore for this, you know? So, but it was really good. They picked up 90% of the tab. It was a $250 deductible. So, and they just don't pay the walk-in fee for the ER, which is understandable because it's not like you're getting treatment. That's just like to check to see how you're doing, you know? So Healthy Paws. If you guys are looking for some animal insurance. Anna's like, must put pet insurance. Yeah, $38 a month. That was worth everything, you know, because 3,000 some dollars is a lot of money, guys. I mean, not that we wouldn't pay it. It's just like, you know, like it's kind of nice to get some help. It says, thanks for the hugs. I'm healing. It's just empath flashbacks triggered. So happy Wally is healthy again. Yeah, truly, we've been having some flashbacks for sure. Yes, always have insurance. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have Healthy Paws in the state that you guys are in, whatever state you guys are all in. But yeah, check it out. We really liked them. They were great. So yeah, Monday, they're getting our bill ready. We didn't really get him till about 6:30, which is like excruciating waiting in the car. And it was like the lady came out and she was like, could you describe the carrier that he came in? Because they're kind of a big hospital. And so they didn't know which carrier was his. And we said, it has the last name on it, you know, it's on the top, you know, it's a kind of like an army green carrier on the bottom, and it's got like a tan top to it. And it's about this big. Okay. She comes out with a blue carrier that doesn't look like ours. Is this it? No, we have a picture of it though. It looks like this. So then it's like, wait. That's what took like the 30 minutes, is because they misplaced his carrier and they couldn't find it. And she says he's had a lot of diarrhea. And so we've been having a diaper on him, you know, along with his catheter. And she says, we'll clean him up. But they didn't get to clean him up because they were spending so much time looking for the carrier. So once he got in the car, it was like pretty rank, because we realized his whole backside was just covered in diarrhea, which was like, whatever. You know what? He's coming home with us. I'm not even going to yell anymore. Whatever. So he came home. I cleaned him up, took him in the shower with me. He's not afraid of water. He actually really likes water. So we cleaned up his back end. He was having like really bad diarrhea where he couldn't control it. It was just kind of like constantly like just kind of leaking out of him. So that's why like you see that I'm sitting on towels, everything. So I replaced all our bed sheets, everything. I put towels all over the bed. I put towels on the couch. I have towels here. He's not leaking anymore, by the way. He is regular. I've never been so happy to clean cat turds in my whole life. I actually took a picture from my boyfriend. I'm like, look, solid poo. I was like, this is like the epitome of crazy cat lady taking pictures of my child's dump. Oh, hey, what's up, Simon? Just popping in quickly to say hello. Well, hello. Jezebel said, cat diaper sounds awful. Cats always want to be clean. Yes, which is why we're like, cat diaper. Ugh. It says, it was hard to find treatment for him and equally as hard to get him out from the vet. Yes. So then now that it was Monday, we decided to call our vet and get her up to speed with everything that went on. And she was like, oh my goodness. She goes, well, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the anesthesia, but well, I don't know. But she says, let me get his records over to the ER. And, you know, so she was talking in conjunction with the ER, and it was her, actually it was her that was like, this cat needs to go home with his parents because it is he's probably really stressed being in that environment, and I don't see his healing progressing very quickly being in that sort of environment. But she does believe that it would go a lot faster if he was home, that his healing would pick up pace. And so that was why they sent him home with us, is because our vet was like, hey, why don't you send him home with his parents? Says, big, beautiful, solid cat poos is a blessing, and we forget the treasure in the everyday. Yes. so, so yeah, gosh, I'm like, like everything is like in a time log, in my brain. So yeah, Monday came home. He just like wasn't doing well, but he did come to bed with us. He still wanted to snuggle with us, and we were just like so happy that he didn't hate us. He didn't want to eat though. So then we were like trying to force feed him, a little bit, just trying to get any calories. I don't care if it's healthy or not, like just want to get it inside his little body. Says, right now after listening to poor Wally's ordeal, thank goodness he is better. Yes, Jen. So Tuesday, gosh, what's today? Today's Saturday. So Tuesday, our vet called, and she was asking, yes, Wally hasn't been well, but he is doing so much better now, Simon. She called and said, hey, she says, how are the meds going, like that you have to give him? And we said, it's really hard to like get stuff in him because like we're not like trained in this stuff. And we're, he's just sleeping a lot, he's having a rough go of it. So the vet, we think, might feel a little guilty about, the whole anesthesia thing, even though she's not admitting that it probably was the anesthesia. She said, for free, I would like to have him in the office every evening. I will give him I will personally, she says, come back into work and I will administer all of his medications for you. I will give him some subcutaneous fluids every day to keep him hydrated. She goes, but I want to make sure that he gets better and that he gets every piece of that medication. So if you guys are unable to do so, I want to do it. So I said, okay. So we've been taking him in every single evening since Tuesday, and just there's been no bill. They're just like, nope, we're just doing this for free because it's out of the kindness of our hearts. And I'm like, I bet she feels guilty. I bet she feels like if anything ever happened to him, and that if he would have, the worst would have happened, like she would have had to have lived with that on her conscience. So not wanting that on her conscience, she decided, hey, we're just going to do everything for free to make sure that this cat is doing well. This is cutie thing is Loki taking care of Wally, our two babies. Yes, Loki has been such the nurse. I'm calling him Nurse Loki. And we've been joking that when Wally thinks of Nurse Loki, he's thinking of, I don't know if you guys saw the movie Kill Bill. Do you remember Kill Bill? And one of the assassins that was dressed as a nurse, with that song, like that's what Wally sees coming down the hall with like his medication, like Loki, we're like, that's what Wally sees. Wally sees assassin. But we're but yeah, Loki has been just it's just been really, really sweet. Oh, Simon, I've wanted that as my ringtone, by the way. Yeah, I love that movie. Is like, I want to be, yes, I want to be Beatrix Kiddo. That's my idol. So yeah, while Wally's been recovering, he's had been kind of like forcing food in him and stuff like that. Loki would be about 3 feet away, constantly keep an eye like he is, he's on the bed right here, while Wally would be sleeping there, and he would just like not leave. If Wally gets up to go upstairs, Loki gets up to go upstairs. He's keeping a constant eye on him. And then when I would try to feed Wally, Loki would wait for Wally to sniff his food, and then Loki is like looking at Wally while he's eating, like showing him like, this is how we eat, like come on, you can do it. And Loki's even tried, I mean, Loki's really like usually a hyper energetic, well, I mean they both are, but Loki usually runs around like crazy, right? But he hasn't been doing that since Wally's been ill. So he's been trying to tone it down for him. He tried being like really quiet while Wally's sleeping. He tries not, making any noise. He would even take like little puff balls and toys like this, and he would like kind of like bat it over to Wally, like, hey, you want to play? And Wally'd be like, and just like sit down. He's just been sleeping a lot, which is good. It's detrimental to his, I mean, it's helpful to, not detrimental, but helpful for his healing process, right? And then we have all these cubes and stuff. I don't know if you can see this cat room that I'm in. Basically, our whole house is a cat room. But we have all these like enrichment things for them. And so like Loki's like waiting on the other side of the cubes because he loves when like Wally like crashes through cubes at him. And so he's like, hey Wally, look, I'm sticking my face through the cubes. You want to come at me? And Wally's like, Or he's like, hey Wally, look, I'm playing with your toys. You want to come over and pound me? It's like, Wally's like, so yeah, he's been really, really sweet. You could see in his eyes that he was really concerned. And so you guys, we had the breakthrough. I'm so excited. So gosh, let's see. So this was Wednesday. Wednesday was the breakthrough. Because the vet was very concerned Wednesday when we saw her, Wednesday evening. She was like, if he doesn't really start eating, a lot, she says he's already dropped 1 pound in a week. That is a lot for a cat. She goes, well, not even a week. She goes, not been a full week. She goes, he's already dropped 1 pound. She goes, she says, and she told us the whole thing about the liver and everything. We're like, so if we weren't like nervous enough. And me, I'm having like not sleeping well. I have like anxiety, like my adrenaline is like up here, you know what? And for me, my own like heart thing that I have, where my heart skips and I have like tachycardia, I wasn't having any heart issues this whole time. And I told my dude, hey, that's cool this whole time. Like I haven't had any heart issues. He says, it's because you're running on adrenaline. The thing like happens to people like if a car was on top of a woman's child, the woman would be able to like lift that car and grab her child. It's that adrenaline, and that's what you're running on right now. And that's probably why your heart isn't acting weird. That's why your like body's in like ready to sprint mode. So he says that's why. And I was like, oh, okay. We both like forming words was really hard for us. Like our vocabulary went out the window. Like I couldn't even like talk or think straight. We've been very forgetful lately. Like he'll walk into the room and he's like, I forgot why I'm here. And I'm like, I don't know why you're here. He's like, I just took a shirt out to put my shirt on. I don't know where I put my shirt. And I'm like, it's in your hand. Oh, our brains have just like freaking been fried. Yes, Chantal, this is their house. We're just renters, I guess. Yes, Loki has been trying to cheer Wally. Susie's like, his teeth, no more dentistry. So, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, let me talk about that too. So, was actually watching The Unexplained on Hulu about stuff like this. You would probably love it. I probably would. Cat said, yes, I did that. Lift the car because it was on my dog's tail. Oh my gosh. See, it's that adrenaline and love where you're just like, boom, I'm just going to lift this thing because somebody's in need of help, yeah, adrenaline's crazy. After hearing from the vet that she's like, if he's not eating in the next day or two, she goes, I'm demanding that he get a feeding tube. She said, and we're like, like he has been so stressed having to be in the ER, like a feeding tube, but then we're like, you're stuck in this pickle, right? Where you have this person who's like saying that if you can't get him to eat, we're going to have to force food into him because your cat's going to die, And then at the same time, we're also feeling like if we do that, like that would just send him over the edge and that could kill him, you know? So you're like, what do you do? Jen said, my vet offers no anesthesia, dental cleanings. It's nice when that is an option. Yeah, I mean, there are some cleanings that they do that are anesthesia free, but because he doesn't do well with the cleaning when he's awake, because they tried that at first, and plus he has a couple little teeth that have already fallen out on their own, and they're pretty sure that his lower right canine is going to fall out. They didn't want to do any surgery because I don't really like surgery, but they said to remove a canine on a cat, because he has really delicate bone structure and he has a very thin jawbone. To remove the canine, you remove the rigidity of that jawbone. They said you could basically break the cat's jaw. Not so much on a cat, or I mean, not so much on a dog, or not so much on a bigger cat, but because of how like Wally is so tiny, it's you know, it just were like, let that tooth just fall out on its own. Let's see. T-Cat says, you get into super mom mode when the adrenaline kicks in. Yes. Aw. See, this is good. Like, do you guys see him grooming himself? He just started that yesterday because he hasn't been grooming himself, which, you know, I'm looking for those things. Like, are you pooping solid? Are you peeing like you should every day? Are you washing yourself? So he did start washing himself yesterday. So that makes me so happy to see. Silver Star said that has actually happened to me before my husband passed. He was seizing. I had to pick up a 230-pound man a few times so he wouldn't hurt himself. I was 90 pounds at the time. Exactly. Love and adrenaline, man. Yes, Chantal, Wally is going to be fine. I know in my heart and soul, he's going to be just fine now. When he came home that Wednesday evening after we saw his vet, she gave him all his meds. And, you know, and I'm like thinking, like, I'm like wanting to cry. And I haven't like, I mean, I've kind of cried a little, but I try not to cry because I want to be like, not that there's anything wrong with crying, you guys, but I feel that he and, you know, animals, well, people, I guess, too, you know, feel our energy so much that I don't want him to feel my anxiety. I don't want him to feel my sadness. I don't want him to feel any of that. And so, yeah, they sense it. So I've been like holding in my tears and gritting my teeth. And I'm like, no, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. And it's like my intuition was so twisted up in my brain, because my brain is going to like having flashbacks of our old cat. But my intuition is also saying he's going to be fine, but then I don't know if that's just wishful thinking or that's actually my intuition. So like my intuition has been just like shot, which is why I was so glad that I haven't had to do like any like readings really this whole time. Although I do have some readings to do now, but that's fine because I'm feeling much better. So I'm glad that like there was like and have to do any. I don't think I could do them. I probably would have put them off. Tika says he is like, I look dreadful after all this horrible sickness. Got to get better. Wally, what? Okay, so that's one thing I can't let him do is I can't let him lick his behind because it's really raw from the catheter and everything that they did. Oh, thanks, Wally. So we have these medicated wipes that I just stick on his hiney. I'm just going to put that right there, okay? There we go. To get it to heal, because I think it's because it's healing, it's very itchy, so he keeps trying to, you know, he's not helping the healing right there on the hiney. But we're using these wipes. They're called, they're Hygienic Pet Wipes, and they're specially for the backside. Hey, Garrett. Says you're right, Mama and Dad. So yeah, so this is supposed to be like really good for sensitive skin. Obviously, you know, he's really tore up in his backside because they also shaved everything. And actually when a cat goes poo or pee. The fur protects their skin from any sort of irritation. And so especially if you've been having diarrhea, you know, that's going to burn already irritated skin that doesn't have any protection on it right now because there's no fur, because they shaved everything for whatever it is they had to do. So while his fur grows back, I keep trying to put these wipes there, not only to soothe it and calm the inflammation, but also to keep him from licking right there. So he can take a bath everywhere else. That's totally fine with me and probably totally fine with him. So anyway, the good news, Wednesday, come home. I'm like having all this like, oh my God, as I'm taking him back from the vet. And Loki wanted some rotisserie chicken. Of course, you know, we've been feeding him so many treats for being such a good boy, which I'm pretty sure while Wally is in his bulking phase and we're trying to put like tons and tons of calories in him, Loki's gonna have to go on a diet because he's been eating whatever Wally hasn't been eating. And I think Loki's getting a little plump. What do you think, Lokster? So Loki's going to have to go into a shredding phase while he's going into a bulking phase. T-Cat's like, he looked at those wipes like, what the heck is that? He's like, yeah, why do you keep putting that in my butt, Mom? Because I have to follow him around the house. I'm like, no, Wally, we're not licking our butt. You know, whatever. I don't care if I'm crazy cat mom. You could use a little Vaseline. It will help. It won't harm him. We did try that, except he tries to lick off the Vaseline too. So, because he wants to lick whatever is there. So, just putting the wipe there, whatever, it just seems to be fine. But, so yeah, I put some chicken out for Loki on Wednesday. Then Wally comes over and I'm like, Wally, do you want some chicken? So I put some down in a bowl and he got close and he was like kind of sniffing it and he was looking at Loki and Loki was looking at him and Loki was like, I'm eating. Are you eating? And then Wally decides he's gonna eat, but Wally was eating, but he was also watching Loki. And so I had to keep putting chicken because Loki's a faster eater. So I had to keep putting chicken in Loki's bowl because the more Loki ate, Wally was eating. And I was like, oh my God. And that's when I was like crying. I was like, my baby, like eat as much as you want. Hey, Wally. Yeah, I know. We just have to keep that there. You can lick anywhere else. You can clean anywhere else. Oh, baby. Hey, Wally. Thanks, baby. Thanks, Wally. You know you're a sweetie. You know you're a sweetie. You got a lot of fur to grow back, you know. That's okay. You're gonna grow back your luxurious fur. So he was eating all this chicken. Like he ate 2 large slices of chicken, which is about 140 calories, which is more than we've had in him like this whole time, because he wasn't taking in any that we didn't like shove down his throat. And so I'm like videoing it and I'm like calling my boyfriend. I'm like, he's eating. He's like, oh my God, send me a video. And so like I send him this video. You want to go up to the condo? You want to go up to the tower? You can do it. There you go. Good boy. Oh, good boy. You're my baby. Hey, Wally. What you doing? No, Licky. There we go. I know. Why does Mom keep putting wipes in your butt? Just gonna put that right there, okay? There we go. Oh, pink tummy. Look at your pink tummy, Wally. Yeah, that's your money maker. Your pink tummy. Yeah, he's my little love. He's my baby. So yeah, I was thrilled. Wednesday night, he ate all that chicken, and he also had some of an egg yolk that night too. My boyfriend will like fry up an egg and then cut it so the yolk runs out because that's one of his favorite things. And so he had that on Wednesday night too. I was just like, oh my God, I was so happy. Thursday, he started to eat even more, and he started clawing his claw pads. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Friday, oh my gosh, Friday, he had, okay, so his normal intake of calories is roughly like 250 calories, you know, based on his body weight. That's what he should be taking in. And so we kind of portion things because he's usually kind of a little pig. So, but right now I don't care. He wants to be a pig. I mean, he can eat as much as he wants. So he took in probably about 360 calories yesterday. Like he was eating so much. I was so happy. I'm like, you want some chicken, baby? You get some chicken. You want a golden goose? Mama will go get you a golden goose, okay? You know, so he ate chicken. He tried eating fish flakes. He started eating his own kibble again, which is good. He had egg yolk. My boyfriend went and dropped like, I don't know, like $50 at the pet store, just finding all different kinds of food that he might want. And there's one that he likes. It's called chicken and egg product. I'm like, huh? But he seems to like it. I don't care, whatever. It's probably like spam or something, but whatever, he likes it. Yes, Chantal, he had some catching up to do. And you know what's interesting is because on, let's see, Wednesday, you know, with all this going on, I've been telling my acupuncturist, who is kind of like my mom. I always call her like my Chinese mom. And I've been telling her all this stuff. And she says, I already told you before that he's going to be fine. I said, yeah, but it's like I'm getting two different messages. Like you're telling me he's going to be fine. I kind of feel like he will, but then also feel like worst case scenario. And I'm hearing from his vet that if he doesn't eat, like all of this bad stuff could happen. Yes, Wally is taking a turn for the better for sure. And this morning, apparently he got up at 3 a.m. My boyfriend heard him and he was eating his nugs at 3 a.m. He also took a pee this morning, like before we got up. He ate some of his nugs before coming down here. He had some egg yolk. He had some more of that egg and chicken product kibble. Yeah, and he had some more before I did my live chat. I'm gonna give him some more chicken after the live chat today too. I'm just, hey baby, like whatever you want, you know. And so my acupuncturist was like, bring him in for acupuncture. I was like, you do acupuncture on animals? And she says, acupuncture works on people and animals. And she says, and I'm sure he's going to be fine. I was like, really? So like I brought him in for acupuncture. And she said that since my boyfriend, he owns a tint company. He tints residential and commercial, you know, places. He does the window film. He had done some tinting for her office. And so she was paying him in acupuncture treatments. Well, he still had an unused treatment. So she said that Wally could use his credit. So I was like, okay. And so took him into her office. He roamed around the office. He was very interested. He's very social, so it's not like he was afraid or anything. He really liked Dr. Wang. She put the needles in. It's like he didn't even notice that she was putting needles in. You know, he was totally cool with it. Since I told you about my new kitten, and they both love play fighting a lot. Aw, that's so cute. Yay for your kitten. So yeah, I told her, you know, that he was having trouble eating. Again, this was Wednesday. And she says after this acupuncture, you know, because she said he also had an inflamed tendon on his hip that she was treating. And I was like, really? And I said, I don't think he has an inflamed tendon. She's like, trust me, he does. I'm going to help it though. She goes, but let me see his tummy. And she said, oh, he has like a really bad stomach ache. Ruchi said, okay, everyone take care. Have to go. All right. Bye, Ruchi. You have a great day. Well, actually for you, it's bedtime. Girl, you have a great evening. So she was like, he has a tummy ache. I will try to unblock his tummy ache. She goes, I promise you that today he will eat on his own. And I'm like, really? She says, this acupuncture, it does help. She goes, you know, it works on you. And I said, yeah, but you know, I mean, but it's a cat, you know. And she was like, it's no difference. And she says, in my culture, she says many humans, they become cats when they she says, like, go through the reincarnation. She says, and how joyful that this human got to come back and be in your home and be your baby. And she says, he is so spoiled. And she says, so she goes, I promise you 100% he's going to eat today because I've just treated his tummy. She goes, but he's going to need 3 more treatments. And she says, and popping in for a 5 cheese pizza. Aw. And so she says, he needs 3 more treatments. If your boyfriend want, tell him to come tint some of the windows at my house, and that we'll call it even with Wally's treatments. And I'm like, okay. I know. Look at that little like stoic dude over there. Speaking of portraits, there's the portrait that I created up there of my little baby. So yeah, Wednesday evening, that is the one, he did eat that day just like she promised. Friday, yesterday, he went in for his next acupuncture, and she was saying that, you know, that he was doing much better. And she says, oh yeah, he's totally, yeah, he's on the mend. She goes 100%. She says, you have to promise me that you will not take him back to the ER. You have to promise me none of that. She says, because acupuncture, your love, all of that is helping. And she says, and that's all you need. And she says, and of course, yes, vet, if you want to do his checkups and stuff like that, of course. She says, I totally agree. You know, they know what they're doing. But she says, any treatment of anything bad that's happening, she says, you come to me and I will work to also help him, not just medication, but she's like, you come to me. And I was like, okay, you know, and I love Dr. Wing. Like, she's so cool. It says, okay, it says, everyone keeps using the word popping and I keep seeing pooping. You know, Ayana, I wasn't going to mention that, but I keep seeing that. I'm just pooping in for a second. Hey, maybe I have poop on the brain too. Okay, so then now I have to share with you. Okay, so all this is great. Wally's doing like so much better. He even almost wanted to smack Loki in the head last night, which is a good sign. Like, he's getting back to his old self. He kind of contemplated playing with Loki today. So it could be a combination of he's home. It could be a combination of also the medication, all the food that he's taking in, and his system being able to like process stuff and like it being able to give him strength and everything. It could also be acupuncture. I mean, I don't care. We're trying everything, and it could be just like a conglomeration of like everything that's helping him out. I just find it interesting that after acupuncture is when he ate. And again, when I brought him back from acupuncture on Friday, he was starving. Like, as soon as I opened his carrier, he ran into the kitchen like he was ready for food. I was like, oh, okay. Mommy gonna make you something, you know? So I don't know, coincidence, maybe? I don't know. But Dr. Rang, she's good. Like, sometimes you don't even have to tell her what's wrong. She just knows what's wrong. Like, she's a really good healer. Like, she's good. T-Cat said, I'm sure Loki is still ready to aid with the eating for some reason. Wally didn't like the chicken. Oh, trust me. Loki's happy to do cleanup duty. He's like, oh, do you need me to clean that for you? Oh, Lokester, you've been such a good boy. You're my nurse Loki. Nurse Loki, you're so good. I keep telling him, I said, we appreciate you so much. We love you so much. We thank you so much for everything you're doing. And, you know, he understands, of course, everything we're saying. What was it? It was on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. I have to share these wonderful things with you guys. Thursday, my boyfriend was here with Wally. I always have to make sure one of us is watching him. That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I'm doing my live chat here. I want to make sure that I can see him in the camera actually behind me. But I had to give my roses their treatment, and I had to water the yard because, it's kind of been neglected since I've, been working with Wally, and I don't want my yard to die. So I told my boyfriend, I'm going to go water the yard and stuff. He's like, okay. So he's with Wally and Loki. And I go do my rose treatment, to kind of combat, disease and stuff like that. And my blackberry bush has been going crazy, so I ate some blackberries that were ready to go, you know, because I haven't really been eating. So my boyfriend and I both lost like 1.5 pounds in a week. Jen said, so many hugs to you and your fur babies, and glad this story had a happy ending. Yes. Thank you so much, Jen. So yeah, I of course I wasn't gonna just like give you guys a sad story. Like, hey, there's a happy ending to this. You know, you got a happy little poo back there. You got a great like panther nurse sitting over here washing himself. He's like, oh, you touched me. I have to wash you off of me. You know, so I'm back there, and this whole time I've been talking to our old cat because I just feel, and I also see in my third eye, my old cat helping him and trying to help in his recovery and all of that. And I've been having dreams of that and everything. And he's buried in our backyard. So I usually leave, if I have some fresh roses growing, I'll cut some of those roses and I'll leave them on his little grave. Jezebel said, so everyone but Loki lost weight just to make sure the wealth didn't leave the home. Yes. So Loki's probably put on a little bit. Mommy and Daddy have lost some weight. Of course, you know, Wally too. But so I'm back there in the backyard, and Shadowlander, where I live, it's like a sauna outside. In Illinois, there's a heat advisory going on. Whew. Well, I mean, it's pretty hot here too. It's probably about like 90-some degrees. But it is July. It's also known as July Fry here in San Diego. So I decide, because I do have some roses that are bloomed and everything, I said, you know, put some roses on Presley's grave. You know, so I eat some blackberries and I cut some roses, and and I decide to take one of my red roses and a couple of my white roses, and I take them out to the backyard, and I put them on his grave, and I just like kind of put my hand on his grave marker, and I was just like, you know, Presley, I know that you're trying to help us, and I know that you're trying to help Wally and his healing, and I appreciate it so much. And I said, but I just want to keep seeing him eating. Like, I want to see him eat more and more and more and more. And I said, and you know, I said, I know that you're working to help him. And I said, and every card I pull and everywhere I look, I said, I keep seeing the image of like Sekhmet, you know, the one of the Egyptian goddesses, you know, the like lion-headed goddess, lioness. And I was like, I keep seeing this everywhere, and I don't know if that energy is coming in to help him. I said, I'm praying to like source energy, God, like whoever's listening, I don't care. Like, just please help my cat, you know? And so, you know, so I had a little chat with Presley, and then I turned around and started walking out of my yard back towards where my blackberries are. And I see something on the ground that I didn't see when I passed by before. And I found this. This is the feather from a red-tailed hawk. This is one of their secondary feathers. Red-tailed hawks are one of my favorite birds. They're a raptor. And I usually hear them because they're doing like their mating calls and stuff like the past couple of weeks. And they fly around this area, but they usually, they eat in like open areas. And we have some open areas like over there and over there, but not really here in the residential area. So it's really rare to find one of their feathers in a residential area because you would usually find it in one of the open areas in which they feed. And so after having a talk with my old cat, I see this, which, you know, I don't usually see these all over the ground. You know, this is probably like the second one I've ever seen in my whole life on the ground and not on a bird. So I took that as, I just felt this wash come over me. I just knew in my heart that, okay, tomorrow morning is going to be even better than today. Like Thursday, like Wally's going to be just like, you know, or Friday. I was like, he's just going to be so much better. I'm going to start to see the old Wally come through. And I just felt it in my heart, and he has been getting better and better and better. And I was just like, so this has been on my altar. I have to kind of hide it because Loki likes feathers and he'll eat this. So, there was that. And I do have to tell you guys about one other interesting thing that occurred. When we had to leave him on, what was it, Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night when he was still at the ER. and he wouldn't be coming home till Monday, or at least we didn't find out till Monday that he would be coming home. And we had gone up to Sorrento Valley to kind of like talk with them and stuff like that, but we still couldn't see our cat. And so my boyfriend and I are driving back, and the car is really silent, you know, because obviously we're both really sad. And my boyfriend, I like to say that he's emotionally constipated. You know, he has trouble with feelings. Kathy says, "Oh, what's wrong with Wally?" Well, Wally is getting better. He had some adverse effects, like some reaction to the anesthesia he got during a dental cleaning on July 8th. So he's kind of been going through the ringer and everything. But he's coming back. He's doing so much better. Like, you could see the brightness in his eyes. Like, you know, you could see like Wally coming back. So anyway, so we're in this very quiet drive. And then the phone rings, and my boyfriend's best friend has been calling and checking in on him, like, "Hey, bro, like how's it going?" You know, because his best friend has also lost a pet. You know, his dog that he had, his dog's name was Buckley. Buckley was a miniature schnauzer, and so he understands this. He's like, you know, you and I have both lost a pet. I understand that you're stressed out. He's like, so bro, I've just been like, you know, he just keeps calling him to make sure that my boyfriend's okay. Susie says, "If he does, he has you." I say the dude is just yeah, he has a stiff upper lip, but I think he's gotten better at releasing some of his emotions, like especially around me, you know. I'm Miss Emotional. So, oh, thank you, Kathy. So he's talking on the phone, you know, through his headset or whatever to his best friend, and I'm just sitting there in the car, and I'm having this silent, like, prayer call out in my head. And I was just like, okay, I am talking to whoever the hell is listening right now. I was like, I cannot have my cat die. I can't. I was like, I can't think of it. I said, because I feel like I would just fall over and die myself. I said, because it felt like my heart got ripped out of my chest when Presley died. I said, I felt empty. I said, you know, it's been 6 years and I still get kind of teary-eyed about it. I miss my dude, even though I know I can feel him around the house and I have physically seen him in our home. It's just different, you know. I said, I can't have that happen again. Wally is too young. He's too full of energy. He's too precious. You know, he means a lot to a lot of people, including his mother and father. I said, in fact, I said, we created an oracle deck together. I said, Wally was meant to, you know, I said, him and I were going to try and help heal the world, you know. I said, he's my little healing puma. Like, he loves to help others. I was like, he's so needed. Shadowlander said, ask my ocean god and goddess to send some ocean healing to Wally. Thank you so much. So I was like, if there's anybody who's listening to me right now, I was like, I don't care if I have to call on Jesus, God, Source, Bastet, Presley, whoever. I'm like, anybody, anybody who's listening. I was like, I need to know that he's going to be fine. And I said, and I need to know right now. And I said, and I said, what I want to see, I want you, I said, before we get home, because we're driving home, I said, before we get home, I want to see a sign that is so blatant and in my face that there is no way that I could miss the sign. I said, but if I don't see it, then I know that Wally's not going to make it. And I was like, I said, but I need a sign. Like, I need a sign to know that he's going to be okay. And I said, and Wally's named after Wally from the movie Wally, you know, the little like recycle robot, Wall-E. And I said, even if I saw something with the movie Wally, I said, I would know that it was a sign from the universe saying that he's going to be fine. I said, but it doesn't have to be that. I said, but I need something in my face. I said, because I don't want this, I saw a bird and it could be a sign. I said, no. No. I said, I am in such a state right now that I need something in my face and I need it to be big. And I was like, and I'm gonna wait. I said, we're driving home. If I don't see anything, I know it's gonna be bad. I was like, I need to see something. So, so we're driving home, and it was like, I don't know, like 1 or 2, maybe 2 minutes after I just like totally just like was like, hey universe, like what the WTF? Please help my cat. You know, a car drives by, you know, because we're on the freeway, and there's a car passing us, and as I'm like please help him, I like happen to glance over out the window, and on the back windshield, or the back window of that car, is a picture from the movie Wally of Wally and Eva. It's a big ass picture on this person's back window, like a little thing as they're driving, and I lost it. I was like, oh my God. I like crying, and my boyfriend had just gotten off the phone, and he looks over at me, and he's like, he's gonna be okay, you know, and he's like grabbing my leg, and he's trying to like let me know it's gonna be okay. And my boyfriend's like trying not to cry, but my boyfriend's also got like, he's tearing up too, and he was like, I can't have what happened to Presley. And I was like trying to get out words, but I couldn't because I was crying, and I was like, no, like you don't understand, like I was just talking to God and Source and Presley. And I was like, I was just talking to everybody. And I was like, and I said, show me the movie Wally, and I'll know that he's going to be okay. And I said, and the car, did you see the car? The car just drove by with like Wally and Eva. And he's like, he didn't like understand what I was saying. He was just like, it's going to be okay. Like he says, we'll help him together. And I was like, no, like, and so I was just like, yeah. And so I was, even with that sign, of course, I was still worried though, you know, this whole time. But I know it's like these, it's like the universe and Presley or whatever have been like, you asked for a sign, you told us exactly what you wanted to see, we showed it to you, yet you're still worried he's gonna die. Like, no. And then everywhere I look, I keep seeing 11111, and and I'm like, no, it's probably not connected to Wally. And then I go out to Presley's grave, and what do I see? A freaking hawk feather, you know. And it's like the universe is like, how many signs and feathers and angel numbers and freaking, you know, things do we have to send your way before you're like, okay, he's gonna be fine. So yeah. T-Cat said, you got me all teary-eyed. The Wally sign was so spot on, just what you needed. Yes. So yeah, I mean, like, you guys, I mean, I have no explanation for all those things, you know. I mean, I know everything is always listening, but when you're in such a state and you're so full of anxiety, and you can't even think for yourself, and your intuition is totally like in the toilet, like it's so hard to see the signs that everybody else would be like mind blown. Like, you literally asked the universe to see something from the movie Wally, which, by the way, I looked all over the freeway and I didn't see anybody else with like Wally bumper stickers, or so it's not a common thing that you're gonna see on the freeway like 2 minutes after you ask to see something. All right, Shadowlander, you enjoy your pizza there. Okay, so I'm just gonna move to the little breakfast nook that's over here. You guys will still be able to see Wally, but I have to plug my phone in. So let me just move this here. Sorry, you guys. We're running on low battery. Okay, yeah, you can still see him back there. Okay, let me plug her in. Move my dude's car parts that just showed up for one of his vehicles. Move you over here. Zara said, hello, so sorry I heard about the stressful past couple of weeks. I can relate so much. I have a lot of emotion too, Pisces. When we put Pepper down, he seemed lucid within the last few. Oh, yes, I remember you telling me all about Pepper. So always sending you guys love and all that. You know, Zara said, minutes. He became lucid and licked my hand with his head between my arms. Whenever I ask for signs, I literally ask them to slap me in the face too, not some vague bird. Exactly. I'm like, don't be giving me some like, this could be a sign. Like I need signs for like, let's just pretend I'm kind of blind and kind of deaf. Like, you know, like I can't hear and I can't see anything. Like I just need something to go. I'm going to plug my microphone because I have to plug my phone. So give me a second here. Okay. Okay, is this thing not high enough? Okay, I'm gonna have to lower my tripod because the cord is like too short. Give me just a second to unhook myself. Yes, so today is the second day I'm actually wearing regular clothes and I'm not just wearing like workout clothes. Not that I've been working out at all this week. And when Wally was eating yesterday, I actually ate more yesterday too. So, so yeah, good stuff all around. Oh, Puma. What are we doing? Do you want something to eat? Want some chicken? Okay, he might need some chicken, you guys. So I'm gonna just put this tripod down and I'm gonna get my baby some chicken. There we go. Or you know what? He's actually gonna have some kibble. Okay, hold on. Let's see if you guys can see. Here you go, buddy. Do you need some different kibbles? I think Loki drooled all over those. Yeah, here we go. Wally? No? Yes? Chicken? Okay. Hold on. Let me get you some chicken. Let me just smooth this like that. There we go. Wally? you up Puma again. Huh? Yeah, you're gonna turn into a full-size Puma. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Puma's had to eat. Hey, Wally. They see you and Loki. They see your guys' play area. Hey, boys. Hey, Wally. What you doing? Just gonna look out the window? Loki, are you on the move? Why do you always gotta eat Wally's food? Like, really? Aw, there's the Lokester. Okay, let's see. Oops. Trying to get to the comments here. Aw, thank you, Susie. Aw. Jezebel said this just became a mukbang, and I'm not mad at all. It's the Wally mukbang. Yes, Sherry Bug, dinner with Wally. Aw. Says, well, hopefully it's all good from here. Yes, so I mean, let me turn this around. You guys need to see this. Guess who's doing cleanup crew? This guy. He's like, oh, Wally didn't finish. I'll help you out, Wally. And then there's the whatever kibble that apparently, okay, so this is called Easy Digestion Chicken and Egg Product, which I'm like, egg product, really? It's grain-free, which is, you know, good for cats and everything, but this is what Wally is liking to eat because for some reason I think his teeth hurt from all this stuff that's been going on. It didn't hurt after the dentist thing, but so it's just like it's a little harder to eat crunchy things, even though he does eat his kibble, but it's like he's trying to swallow it whole because it hurts to crunch. What you doing, baby? But these are really tiny, so they're like this big, so they're a lot easier for him to eat. Chicken and egg, highlighting the cycle of life. Yes. Says, I love Poseidon, water element, god, goddesses. They are very good to work with. Shadowlander said, my ocean god and goddess are Poseidon and Isis. Oh, awesome. Loki looks so big. True Panther. He is big. He's like probably like 2.5 times Wally's size. He's probably like an 18-pound cat, and Wally, well, right now is 11 pounds, but we'll get him back to 12. I think your kitchen was wanting attention for for a moment there. Yes. Cleaning chores equals helping friend in cat language. Yes. Wally, stop licking your butt. Hold on just a second. Wally? No, no, no. I'm gonna put a wipey there. No. We got to let it heal. It's very red. Puma. You wanna come sit on my lap over there? You can come sit on my lap. Come on, Wally. You can come sit on my lap. I'll move this stuff out of the way and you can come sit on my lap. Let me move your... Why does your dad have car parts here? Like... Move daddy's car parts. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring Wally over. Hey, Diana's here. Hello. Wally, let's come sit over here. Actually, you know, I'm gonna keep this feather with me because I don't trust Loki with feathers, and I don't want him to eat this feather. Okay. Oh, Puma, you come sit with me. Oh, come on, Puma. Oh. You just go over here. Oh, you can just go here. Hey, Puma. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hello. Hello, Internet. Yeah, I am Wally. I am famous. People all over the world love me. Yes, Wally, you are famous. Loki, say hello to your famous brother. Me baby. Hey, Puma. Let me see what your adoring fans are saying. Says it's been a week. Yes, so true. Since last Saturday, it's been a week. Yes. The dude dad did great too. Yes, for sure. Wally, they're saying how handsome you are. Well, you never know where you're gonna need a car part mid cooking or eating. Kitchen is the logical place. So I know, right? Because like I'm gonna make eggs. Maybe I need a spark plug wire. Spark plug wires? Spark plug wires. Yes, Wally, they're looking at your horrible haircut that they gave you at the ER. Yes, there definitely are babies. Wally, you want to go on the chair? There we go. I know, Loki is drinking your water, eating your food. Sorry, I'm just gotta keep an eye on my Puma baby. What you wanna do, Wally? What you wanna do? So I do have to tell you guys, by the way, this is what happened to Wally. Just some adverse effects to anesthesia, but he is much better now. Hey Lisa, how's it going? So, well, yeah, you can go on your bed. That's your bed. Loki, why you gotta make such a mess when you drink water? Like you spray it everywhere. So yeah, so Wally was having some issues with some anesthesia that he got from a dental appointment, but he's doing much better now. we had a whirlwind of a week, but he's doing a lot better. So just kind of seeing him cruising around like makes my heart sing. And I forgot that I had my hair up. I only put it up briefly so I could get everything ready for my chat. But um, but yeah, he's doing a lot better. See, he's grooming now. He's eating a lot. He's clawing his claw pad. You know, he's getting his strength back. We gotta, you know, try to put some weight back on him. You know. um, yes, thank you. So, oh yeah, Lisa, you like my hair that goes for days. um, so yeah, and you know what I was thinking. You know, when this obviously this past week with everything with Wally, I had brought out my deck because I was going to use it, you know, my Wally's World deck, the one that he's on the cover of, and he's like in every one of those cards. And I made the deck, you know, so that Wally could be like the little like spirit guide who's just kind of in the background while people, you know, do their healing and stuff. That's kind of like what the cards were for. Hey, Wally. Loki, why don't you just leave your brother alone? I don't think he wants to look at your panther face right now, but you know who does? The internet wants to look at your panther face. Your gigantic panther face. Hello, I'm Nurse Loki. Yes, Nurse Loki. My big boy. Ooh, you are heavier. Loki, you're gonna need to go on a diet. um, yes, OMG, panther face for sure. Nurse Loki looking sexy. What do you think, Loki? What do you think, Lokester? Yeah, my baby. You're my big, gigantic baby. But anyway, so there was all these people sending me messages, you know, this whole week of like, we're sending Wally healing, and or you know, people saying I'm doing a healing spell with a candle, or I do energetic healing, I'm sending healing. There was just, and where all these people were coming from, it was like Australia, it was the UK, it was, you know, on New Zealand, it was um, Germany, it was Belgium, it was, you know, London or England, you know, people that live in different parts of the US, people that live here in California, um, you know, people that live basically all over the world. And I just found it ironic that, you know, all these people who have never met him in person, but just like love him so much, from all over the globe, sending him healing. Yet, you know, here's this deck that was supposed to be healing, utilizing everything around the world. Wally's world, you know, he was supposed to be the one that heals people. And it just like kind of made me like a little like, maybe a little misty that, you know, all these people around the world were instead sending him healing, you know, instead of vice versa. So that definitely warmed my heart, you know, that you guys come from all over the globe, all over the US, all over everywhere, and that you guys were able to take, you know, some time out to at least think good thoughts for him. You know, some people did full on rituals, some people, you know, actually sat down and did healings. But yeah, it just, it meant the world. And I know that that had to have had a hand in his healing too. I think it's just a combination of everything. It's, you know, everybody's good vibes, good thoughts, prayers, like whatever, you know, that people do, combined with, you know, the help of my acupuncturist, you know, the help with, you know, the good people that are at his, you know, vet, you know, they're been trying to help them. And, you know, my dude and I watching him like a hawk, and me being like crazy cat mom, like freaking running around with cat wipes, like, don't lick your butt, sweetie. You know, just like running around the house, just like while following him, you know, trying to make sure if he wants to eat something, then I'm right there. Like I can get him something to eat. Like, yeah. So, and Loki, you know, I can't forget Loki, who's I think done quite a bit. He's taking a bath right now. But I think he's done quite a bit, you know, to help out Wally too. Um, He's a good little panther nurse. Okay, let me see what you guys said. Loki, big boy, handsome, beautiful black kitty. His fur looks so soft. He is very soft and cuddly. Lisa said, Wally is looking on jealously. Well, now he's fallen asleep. He's like, why would you get your panther fur like all over you? Yes, worldwide Wally love. Marina said, Wally is so adorable. I wish him all the best. Send him my vibes to recover quicker. I know how hard it is to see them feeling not good. Nurse Loki is so cute too. You hear that, Loki? You're gonna go worldwide as Nurse Loki. Jezebel said, energy is a two-way street. You can't receive healing without sending out your own juju back. Yes. Yeah, we need a Loki's food oracle. You know, I've been thinking of in the future, because I have a lot of Wally's World decks to still sell. But when I get close to like selling out of my Wally's World Oracle, I do eventually want to make a Loki deck. Like I was thinking of like a Loki tarot deck or a Oracle deck, but I do want to incorporate food because he is my kitchen shark, my little panther shark. You know, he's known for his unique appetite, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Susie said, breathe, family will be fine. Yes, I know now. Which is why, hey, I was excited to have my my PVCs, my heart palpitations this morning, which means that my adrenaline has gone down. That now, hey, I now have time to have my own heart act up now, and and my appetite is coming back, which is a good thing. So I know that I'm doing much better. All right, Sherry Bug, well, you have fun with your grocery order. Let Loki know if you picked up anything. So yeah, so we will catch you next Saturday, Sherry Bug, and I will probably be able to report with even better news of this coming week with Wally. Hopefully he's running around like a crazy head by then. I would definitely love it. All right, so Lisa said I have to go too. Just a quick pop in to say hi. Glad Wally's on the mend, and love to you, girl, and Sherry Bug, and everybody else. So actually, that reminds me, because I didn't want to go too long with today's live chat, because obviously I want to kind of keep my eye on Wally and kind of like whatever he needs right now. But I did want to do just kind of like, you know, like I always do, I do like a little reading, and then I do a little healing at the end. So I still want to do that for you guys. So let me grab my decks because they're on the floor over there. So give me just a second. Hello. I'm gonna put this right there. Okay, I'm gonna sit down in the chair. Let's see. Chantal said, glad Wally is doing better. Yes, thank you, thank you. T-Cat said, Loki is so handsome. Nurse, I would gladly let a lovely cat like that nurse me too when I'm sick. Cat love is the best medicine. Exactly. Thanks, Susie. Okay, so I had a deck show up this week while Wally was sick, but I haven't been able to use it much because I haven't really been reading cards for myself at all this whole time, because, you know, like I said, I've been through my Etsy shop. They were like, hey, have you seen this deck? I have not. It's called the White Cat Oracle. Hey, SSO. This is, yes, of course, completely understand with everything that's going on. So yeah, so I haven't done any card pulls really, but I have kind of like shuffled the deck, but I haven't really been doing any readings with it. But I do wanted to show you guys, because I think it's pretty cool. This deck is by David Borden, by the way. You guys can see David Borden. these are the backings, very simple. And they're more like archetypes, which I think is pretty neat. And they're divided into suits, and there's like a particular way that the creator wanted to be able to use them. But of course, you know, you can use them however you want. So there is a nice large PDF guidebook that goes with it. But I think it's pretty cool. You know, you got all these different archetypes, these different kitties. So I thought I would just share it. And of course, I'm like, if it has a Siamese, I would get it, you know, because if like a deck is a cat deck and it doesn't have a Siamese cat, there's something wrong with that deck. Or they don't have a black cat like Loki, you know, so I need to have a black cat. I need to have like a Bombay, and I need to have a Siamese. And that's, okay. That's probably what's happened to Loki during this whole time. And we want Wally to plump up as well, to get him nice and plumped again. But yeah, so I thought I would just, you know, share it with you. Like I said, I haven't really read with it much yet, but I think more Wally goes on the mend, the more readings I'll do. I do have a couple of readings that I have to do on Monday, and I think it'll be a lot better then, you know, so I'm actually really appreciative that nobody was like, there's actually been a lull in my shop, you know, as far as like orders or readings and stuff. I've like actually really appreciated that lull so that I could focus 100% of my attention on Wally. So yeah, but now that Wally's getting better, all of a sudden it's like my shop has like orders again and like readings, and it's like kind of interesting, you know, kind of coincidence really. You think that maybe like there's some sort of universe thing going on, knowing that I wouldn't be able to do that stuff right now. Let's see, Shadowlander, the Oracle pulls I did earlier. One card from the House of Night Oracle, one from the Ascension, one from my Handmade Oracle of Waves. Ooh, very nice. And Wally Essence O is saying hello as well. Jezebel, no fat shaming the Loki nurse. He had a lot of stress and is just handling it a bit differently. Hey, I'm not shaming. He's just got a lot more to love right now. He's been taking things on for poor little Wally. Oh, and by the way, those of you that are crystal lovers out there, the crystal that has really been helping me to calm myself, even though, you know, I know my anxiety has been through the roof, and I'm finally like coming down from my like trying not to have panic attacks or anxiety or, you know, like my adrenaline rush that I've been on. What actually helped me to sleep, even though I wasn't sleeping great, I could actually sleep for a little while, was green calcite. So I have quite a few pieces of green calcite. I just really like the feeling of it. And I have other pieces of calcite too, but I like when it's green and it's green color. So I don't know if any of you guys are like in some really stressful situations. I mean, for me personally, I recommend green calcite. It's helped. You know, I'm not saying it like covers all of my anxiety and all of that, obviously, because if he's still sick, I'm still anxious. But it helps. Jezebel said it's a soft, gentle healer. Yeah, and I need that. Like, I don't need a stone that has any sort of like crazy energy, because since my energy is already chaotic, I don't need extra chaos in my life right now. So it's like somebody giving you a back rub when you feel like crap, you know. So that's how I'd like to decide that, or describe this stone, is like when you're not having the greatest of days. Like when somebody's just like rubbing your back, it's kind of like that, where you like feel a little better. It's not obviously going to solve all your problems, but you feel a little bit better. So green calcite, you guys, I'm just put that out there, keeping my eye on them. Okay, so let's actually bust out my reading skills again. So let me do a kind of a general message reading, but like for all of us, everybody who watches this in the future and everybody now, let's reopen my my card reading skills. They've been asleep for a week right now, so we'll bust them back open again. I think it would be fun. Let's see. Stanley said, "Hey guys, I want to learn more about crystals. I get feeling from them." So yeah, I mean, like with crystals, for me, I have crystal books and I would read them, but I think it always just came down to when I had a crystal and I would work with it and I would just work with one at a time, like how does it make me feel? Do I feel changes in my everyday life? Do I have more energy? Do I have less energy? Do I have more dreams? Do I feel like I can't sleep? You know, and I write all this stuff down and now I just take mental note. But I think that was my best way of getting to know crystals, is because sometimes the way it works for me isn't exactly the way it's written in a book and the way it worked for somebody else. And I think it's how it should be because we're all really different people. And just like with a vet saying that, you know, certain things happen if you do this, well, not every cat is the same. Not every person is the same. So, same kind of thing. All right, T-Cat says, gotta go. Send all my best for the Wally. Thank you. I'm sure this experience has hit your energy as well. Yes, let's keep us on sending Wally some good juju. Yes, thank you, thank you. And you have a great weekend, T-Cat. Hold on, let me go back here, what you guys were all saying. Chantal said, so awesome to see you share everything with us. Thanks for, thank you, Chantal. I mean, I don't know. One of my pet peeves is when I know people are lying to me or being fake. So I'm always just me. I would never be my pet peeve. So I'm just saying. Let's see. Jezebel, it's a there, great green calcite is here. Yes, back rub, exactly. Shadowlander, what crystal would you recommend for help in dream recall? For me, and again, this is just for me. I don't know if it would be for you or for everybody. Blue Apatite. Blue Apatite, I usually get some pretty vivid dreams, and so I can remember them a lot more accurately or clearly if they are vivid. So for me, Blue Apatite. Let's see. Hold on. Going back to your I have to go back. Scroll. Zara said amethyst and typically purple stones can be good for dream recall in my experience. Those two. Susie said, no lie, not allowed favorites. Oops. I relate to Tara the best for me. Aw. And hopefully we're back. Okay. Hopefully everybody sees me now. We had a little bufferama going on. So Claudia, how are you? ¿Cómo estás? Okay. So, like I said, because you know my emotions, my energy has been kind of cray cray. Haven't been doing any readings for myself or other people because obviously I think that if I'm too much in a crazy place, I am not going to give anybody a good reading. So I would always put off a reading until I feel better, you know. And hey, snake diet. So actually, I have a dude, and I gave birth to a couple of kittens. So yeah, I'm kind of like a mom. And Zara said a blue kyanite too. Ooh, you know, green kyanite for me, I think has some really good dreams. So anyway, coming down from this crazy week and all that anxiety and all of that. So yeah, just to kind of, you know, keep this chat semi-short. I mean, like 130 minutes, I guess that's semi-short. I just want to do like just a general message for all of us, and yeah, do a little healing. Susie and Jezebel, yes. Okay, so I am going to use the deck that I've had, but I wanted to do readings this week, but you know, because I was just so sad and anxious, you know, with Wally being the ER and like all the stuff going on, is just, I kind of just wanted to hold this deck. And this is the Mystical Cats Tarot. And so I didn't end up reading with it, but I just kind of had it with me. It's kind of like my, I don't know, like I said, I have trouble forming words because my brain's not functioning at 100% right now. It's like a comfy blankie. So yeah, it's very consoling for me, just the energy. But I do want to give you guys a message. So let's do that. It's safety blankie. Thank you, Jezebel. I can't spit out words. But yeah, so I am so happy he is on the mend, and I am thanking you guys so much for setting all those positive vibes and all the healings that you guys have been doing. Like it really means a lot. Like it means a lot, and it's not like, you know, some people are like, oh wow, thank you, hashtag so grateful, or hashtag so blessed that, you know, I have all these people. I'm like, no, like genuinely, for people to maybe not even take a whole lot of time out of their day, but at least to like mentally say, hey, I wish that cat gets better, or, you know, I'm sending love, you know, to even just kind of just say it, it just hits me right in the ticker, you know. It means a lot, and we can definitely feel it. And I think I'm more appreciative of like the little things with Wally, like I said, like crazy cat mom, like getting happy because he's got solid poop. I'm like, you know, it's because I know what it means when that's not going on, when like the regular stuff isn't going on. You know, he's not vomiting, he has solid poop, he's hungry, he's eating all of his treats, and he's eating his regular food, he's grooming himself, he wants to snuggle with us, and he's not hiding, you know, which is not his normal behavior. He's always a very social, very loving cat. Puma. He's been sleeping with us in the bed and snuggling up with us. We haven't gotten him to purr yet again. And I think it's just because his little backside is so red and raw that's probably still kind of hurting him. But I think that once he feels even better, he'll start to purr again. So we're trying to get a little purr out of him, you know. Okay, Susie says, it is your family of love. Of course, love. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's get a good message here. I mean, I like that we ended on a positive note. This story had a happy ending, you know. I wasn't gonna give you guys like a bummed out Saturday. Katie said, just got in here, but my cat babies and I are sending you and Wally all the love and purrs. Thank you, Katie. And I can't wait to hear his little purr again, because he has quite the loud purr. The Lokester has a very quiet purr. He's like, but Loki's like, or Wally's like, okay, so let's get a good message for the week. Something for all of us. Like I said, I'm using my Mystical Cats Tarot. It's like that little security blankie, that little comfy feeling. Let's go intuition. Intuition, like you can wake up again. Hold on, card's getting all wonky here. Okay, what do we have for the week? We have the Ace of Fire. We have 3 of Earth. And we have the Sky King. Okay, I think I already know what this means. Oh, hold on, dropped a card. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got you guys. And it does pertain to everything that's been going on with me too, but it's kind of like a message for everybody else as well, not just me. But if you want something in your life to really
take action, whether it's healing for your furry loved one, furry, feathery, scaly loved one, or you're trying to manifest a job, or you're trying to, whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your life, you know, healing, work, love, whatever it is, which is represented by this Ace of Fire, whatever it is you're trying to bring in. I get with the Sky King that sometimes it isn't all about just having the thought like, gee, I hope that this job, comes for me, or I hope that I have healing, coming to me, or I hope that I have love coming to me, or whatever it may be. That sometimes, us all by our lonesome, just with those positive thoughts, sometimes aren't enough. That the reason there are so many people and animals and plants and crystals and everything on this planet is because we were meant to work together, which I'm getting with the Three of Earth. And so if you are trying to bring something into your life, you need to ask for it. I was contemplating even putting that there was anything wrong with Wally because I didn't want anybody to worry. But somewhere in the back of my head, I was like, I think that people would be hurt if I didn't tell them that there was something wrong with Wally, because I think, I consider you guys my extended family, right? And so to keep something like that, he's my baby, basically. To keep that from you guys would be like, I don't know, it would be almost shady to do, I think. So that's why I said, hey, Wally's not okay, and it would just mean the world if you could just send some healing. And so I reached out to everybody, and I did it on Instagram, I did it on Facebook, I texted my friends, and I decided to put my ego aside, because I was like, it's not about me, it's about him, and I want him to get better. So it's not about like, oh well, I don't want to put anybody out, or oh, I don't want to make anybody upset. I'm like, hey, they would be more upset with me if I said that everything was fine, because then I'd be lying, basically, and I'd be putting on a fake face like, oh, everything's fine, in my house. Like, I'm a human being, and it's okay for me not to be fine. And I think that, so yeah, so if you want something in your life, please ask people to help you, because I think that it would hurt people more if you didn't ask for them. I think that they would feel like, I don't know, like I thought we were friends, as a friend, I would want to help you, if you, so I think people would want to help you get a job. They'd say, hey, I know this person. They'd help you with contacts, put yourself out there. If you want to bring love into your life, put yourself out there, ask friends, ask, to have people help you. Try not to go it alone. If you want some healing, you got to put it out there. If it's something wrong with you or something wrong with somebody in your family, you just say, hey, we're not okay, and it would be great if you guys could send healing, because people are more than willing to help. And I had to put myself in your guys' shoes. I had to think, if there was something wrong with you guys, or somebody was sick in your family, or something was going on, but you decided that like I shouldn't know about it, I would almost feel like, oh, like, but I would want to help you though, and it would not make me put out or upset to have to like want to help somebody. Like, I want to help people. Like, people want to help people. You are never putting anybody out, okay? So whatever it is that you guys need, and whatever it is that you guys want to bring in, like, please ask. Like, people are so stoked when they feel like they can help people. Like, people get excited. Like, I get excited when I feel like I can help people. That's why I do like tarot readings. That's why I'm a teacher. That's why, I do all these things, because I like feeling like I can help people. And it's like no sweat off my brow, So just, that's your message for this week, is just, if you need something, please, 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 please ask. You are not putting people out. Like I said, there's a lot of people on this planet. They all want to come together. They want to help. Animals, always willing to help people. Crystals, there are little crystal buddies. They want to help. Our plant allies, they want to help. Like, just put it out there. So anyway, that's our message for this week. So anybody who comes across this now or later, hopefully will get the message. Claudia said yes, plus good vibes, prayers, thoughts, work. Yes. So yeah, definitely don't just say, hey, help me out, and then you don't do anything. No, of course you need you need to have those positive thoughts for sure. That's why we have the Sky King here. So you need positive, reinforcement for yourself. Like I want this to happen, and I'm putting that good juju out there, but I'm also calling in my peoples, the animals, the plant allies, the energies, the crystals, like whatever. I'm calling everybody in to help me too. So you try to help yourself, but also you have everybody else come in to help you too. So, so anyway, that is our message. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our healing. I am actually going to pick a card from a different deck to see what our healing focus should be for this week, because the focus is always a little bit different depending on what we need. So if you want to receive the healing, all you have to do is say it aloud. You could say it mentally. You can say it in the comments. You don't have to stick around. You can go ahead and, have yourselves a fantastic rest of your Saturday. But just know that the healing will come to you if you're open to it. If you're not, that's totally cool. It's fine with me. And let's pull a card. I'm going to pull a card from my Crystal Medicine Oracle, which is actually a newer deck, and this is by Rochelle Charman. I haven't been able to use this a lot lately either because I've been with Wally, but let's pull a card. What do we need for our healing today? Okay. I was going to use my green calcite for the healing anyway, and it has green tourmaline. And it says rejuvenation and plant. Oh my gosh, this is what we need right now. Diane said, honestly, I can't stand doctors and vets nowadays. All they want is to push meds, and no one cares anymore. This happens to my other cat. So sorry you had to go through this. So at least he's on the mend now. We have a really good acupuncturist who's been helping, and she really loves Wally too. So, okay. So, yes, I know, right? So let's put that out there. Let's, some rejuvenating energy, that this is, tomorrow is a new day. And you can make it a new chapter. You can make it the next paragraph. You can make it a whole new book if you want to. You decide what you want to do tomorrow. Like, you really do. You get to decide, this is how I want to start my day. This is how I want to feel today. This is the positive things that I want to do today. This is how I want to help others, and this is how I want to help myself. So let's shed today. Let's shed the past week. If you want, you could shed the past 20 years or 40 years or 50 years or whatever it is. And let's make tomorrow a brand new day, the brand new day that it is. It's a brand new sun in the sky. It's a brand new moon. It's a brand new, actually, I don't think it's the new moon yet, but let's just call it it's not like the new moon, but it's like a brand new, you know what I'm trying to say. It's and new blooms on the rose bush. It's new tails growing on my lizards that I see running through my yard. It's new. So what are you going to do with your new day tomorrow? Is it another paragraph in your book? Is it a new chapter? Is it a whole new book that you're writing? What is tomorrow going to be for you? What do you want to do tomorrow for other people? What do you want to do tomorrow for yourself? So. Oh, Chantal, tell your son I said hello as well. And Zara said, yes, in a way, each day, moment, we are reborn because we only have this moment, as the rest can be considered in our head, future, past, whichever thoughts we follow bloom. Exactly. So It's 1:01 p.m. where I am right now. I am no longer the energy I was at 1 o'clock or at 12:59 p.m. or 12:58. You know, every single minute, every single second, I'm in a new place. I'm in a new place energetically. At 1:02, I won't be who I was at 1:01, you know? So if you guys want to think about it that way. So I am going to use my red-tailed hawk feather, which I found, and I'm also going to be using my green calcite, and we're going to focus on this energy of also green tourmaline and rejuvenation plants. And that's going to be the healing that I send out to you guys. So again, if you're open to it, fantastical. You can stay here, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can go about your Saturday, go mow the lawn, go to sleep, like whatever you guys got to do. If you're open to it, it'll find you. Okay? So here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. I like that. So just as I started doing my healing, check what they're doing. You guys see behind me? They're playing. Ooh, hold on. Whoa, extreme close up. They were playing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go check in on my kittens. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Whatever is going on in your lives, ask for help. People are more than willing to help you out. Okay? So I'm wishing you a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you so much for all the positivity that you've sent Wally's way, and Loki, who's been a good little nurse Loki. I hope you guys have a good week coming up. So anyway, peace, love, and trick and grease, you guys. You guys really do help me and warm my heart. So anyway, bye guys. Peace out. Bye.